Okay, so picture this. Me, a sophisticated, worldly woman of culture, standing in the middle of Istanbul. The date is August 23rd, 2025, and the air smells like a million amazing things are happening all at once. There's the salty hint of the Bosphorus, the sweet perfume of someone's fancy cologne, and most importantly, the sizzling, tantalizing scent of grilled meat. My stomach, which has the dramatic flair of a telenovela star, let out a growl so loud I think it startled a pigeon. I didn't come all this way to eat at some tourist trap restaurant with a laminated menu and sad, lukewarm fries. No, I am on a mission, a quest, a spiritual journey, if you will, to find the most authentic, most delicious, most Instagrammable street food this city has to offer. My body is a temple, and that temple requires a sacrifice of carbs immediately. My travel philosophy is simple. If you can't eat it while walking, is it even worth eating? Seriously, museums are great, ancient ruins are cool, but the real history of a place is in its snacks. Finding the best street food in Istanbul is basically a detective sport, and I am the Sherlock Holmes of snacks. My first rule of food investigation: follow the locals, not the tourists. If you see a guy in a suit, a woman with a stroller, and a bunch of teenagers all lined up at the same cart, you get in that line. Don't ask questions. Don't even think about the nutritional information. Just trust the collective wisdom of the people who actually live here. They know things. They know which donor guy uses the freshest lamb and which simit cart has the perfectly crunchy, sesame-crusted rings of joy. Avoid any place with a giant, glossy sign in English that says authentic Turkish food. It's a trap. The real deal is usually a humble, slightly beat-up cart run by a man who looks like he's been grilling kebabs since the Ottoman Empire. My second, and equally important tip, is to use your nose. Your nose is your spirit guide in this magical city. Let it lead you. If you smell something smoky and incredible, follow that scent like a cartoon character floating towards a pie on a windowsill. Turn down that sketchy-looking alley. Wander away from the main square. I spent 10 minutes following a scent to a lush, then found roasted corn, and all was forgiven. So there I was, having successfully stalked my prey. I found him, the donor king. This man was a legend, I could just tell. He had a magnificent rotating spire of meat, bigger than my carry-on. It was glistening. It was majestic. The line was long, a fantastic sign. I rehearsed my order in my head. I stepped up, made direct eye contact, and said, "Bir donor, lütfen." He nodded, then rattled off questions in Turkish. My confidence evaporated, panic set in. So I did what any resourceful woman would do. I started pointing. I pointed at the tomatoes. I pointed at the onions. I pointed at a mysterious red sauce. The vendor, kind, spectacular mustache, smiled and shaved slices of meat. He stuffed them into a fluffy pita and handed me the glorious bundle. I felt like I'd won an Olympic gold medal. I found a bench for the sacred first bite. Let me tell you, it was a religious experience. The meat, tender and flavorful. The vegetables, crisp. The bread, the perfect pillowy vessel. And that mystery red sauce, it had a kick. We were two souls connected by a shared appreciation for a well-made meal. After my triumph with the donor, my confidence was at an all-time high. I decided I was ready for a bigger challenge, finding a specific dessert shop a friend had recommended. The shop was called Hafiz Mustafa 1864. My phone chose this exact moment to die, so I had to rely on the ancient, terrifying art of asking a stranger for directions. I spotted a group of friendly university students. I walked up, smiled my most charming, helpless but adorable tourist smile. I meant to ask, "Affedersiniz, Hafiz Mustafa nerede?" Somehow the words got jumbled. What I actually said sounded like, "Excuse me, I am a beautiful muffin. Where is my husband?" The students looked confused, then burst out laughing. One of them, very handsome, replied, "I don't know about a husband, but the pastry shop is that way." My face turned a spicy donor red. Instead, I started laughing with them. The handsome student Kenan walked me to the dessert shop. We chatted about my trip, his studies, our shared love for all things sweet. When we got to Hafiz Mustafa, it was like stepping into a sugar-coated wonderland. Display cases piled with baklava. He taught me to say teşekkür ederim properly. It felt like a mini first date. The grand finale of any street food tour in Istanbul has to be dessert. And let me be clear, saying no to baklava is a crime against humanity. It's a sin. It's like turning down a hug from a puppy. That plate of baklava at Hafiz Mustafa was a revelation. Each little piece was a masterpiece of flaky phyllo dough, chopped nuts, sweet, sticky syrup. It was so good I almost cried. A single tear of pure, sugary joy may have rolled down my cheek. Istanbul's streets are a paradise for anyone with a sweet tooth. You'll find vendors selling dondurma, the chewy, stretchy Turkish ice cream. The vendors are performers teasing you with the cone. Then there's künefe, a cheese-filled pastry soaked in syrup. Yes, cheese for dessert. Don't question it. Served hot. I ate so much künefe, I think my blood type is now officially syrup. This whole experience taught me that travel isn't about perfectly planned itineraries. It's about the little moments, the hilarious misunderstandings, the unexpected friendships, and the joy of tasting something so good it makes you want to do a happy dance right there on the sidewalk. It's about being open to getting lost. Because sometimes the wrong turn leads you to the best kebab of your life. Embrace the chaos and find the beauty in the mess. My clothes were a mess, my hair was a mess, but my heart was completely full, and so was my stomach. So my final piece of advice for any foodie heading to Istanbul is this: be brave, be hungry, and always say yes. Say yes to the mystery meat on a stick. Say yes to the spicy sauce that might make you cry. Say yes when a handsome local offers to help you find the pastry shop. And most importantly, always, always say yes to dessert. Life is too short for bland food and boring vacations. Dive in head first, make a few mistakes, laugh at yourself, and eat everything. Trust me, you'll go home with a few extra pounds and a million amazing memories. And that is a trade-off I am willing to make every single time. Thanks for coming along on my silly, messy, delicious adventure. See you in Istanbul. If you liked this guide, hit subscribe and tell me your favorite street snack in the comments.